Are you an entrepreneur who struggles for energy, focus, discipline? If that's you, I have something that I want to share with you. I'm actually in the process of going through my clients' strategy. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the data from my clients of what they've given me, what their goals are, and I create a tailored strategy for them so that they have a structured way to achieve their memory, their focus, and discipline improvement goal, and they can function at the highest level. So if that's of interest to you, give me the next 10 minutes or so. I'm going to walk you through just exactly how I come up with this strategy for my friend. Now, if you've not met me before, my name is Stephen Koh. I'm an executive health coach, and I've helped entrepreneurs and leaders from all over the world gain more energy and focus while eliminating their brain fog, procrastination, and things that's holding them back. So if that is of interest to you, subscribe to my video. I publish regular videos on this topic, and you may find this interesting and learn something or two that's going to help you work at the highest level. And for those of you who want to know if you want to get this done for you, right? If you want a personalized, tailored strategy that's going to help you achieve your memory, your discipline, your brain focus goals, let me know. Drop me a line below, say focus, and I'll do that for you. I'll send you a questionnaire, and if you fill that out, you give me enough information to help come up with this, what you're seeing in front of you as well, right? As a custom tailored strategy for performing at the highest level. The reason I need a questionnaire is because it's not one size fits all. Anyone that tells you just take this pill and do this and you'll fix everything and your high performer is lying to you. Run away. It's more nuanced than that. That's why it's important that we do a tailored approach, and that's why I do it for all of my clients. And so if you're interested in that, drop me a line below with the word focused. Reach out to me. Make sure you follow me or friend me on Facebook, so when I ping you, you get the message. It doesn't fall into the abyss. Okay, so without further ado, let me show you how I go about creating a tailored strategy for one of my clients. The idea is, and you can see on the screen I'm showing in front of you, limitless energy and focus, right? To work at the highest level, to perform like the top 1%. It means you have to do something different to the 99%. Right? So following conventional wisdom, following the popular advice is not going to get you there. Hope that makes sense. So what I'm about to share with you might create some emotion in you. You might get triggered to say, well, that is not what my doctor tells me. Well, that is not the established advice. And that is not the consensus that's not the scientific consensus. Guess what? Scientific consensus, as well as it's great, it takes decades to form. And majority of people follow the scientific consensus, and you can see that if you follow what majority do, you get the result of the majority. So if you want to be the top 1%, it means you have to do something that's on the cutting edge, that it doesn't have 20 years to form that consensus, because this top 1%, what they do will become conventional wisdom 20 years from now, once you get enough data, right? So, but you want to do this safely. Right? When you operate and you're choosing what cutting edge thing to do, weigh up the risk, weigh up the potential benefit. The risk benefit ratio is an important consideration. So in the biohacking community, some of them put implants inside the hand or the finger, so they can tap and just pay with their finger. Now, what's the risk reward? The risk is infection. You might get rejection of this. It will create inflammation inside your body. For what benefit? Just so that you can tap. When you can tap with a phone, not good ratio, right? So that's the thing. Cutting edge isn't always good. You have to have critical thinking. You have to apply yourself to it. So that with that out of the way, I think you understand this limitless focus. That my approach isn't gonna be something that you used to or you might have heard. It's very different. It is certainly cutting edge, and it is very nuanced. That's why it needs to be tailored to who you are, your situation, your goal, rather than just one size fits all. And that's why I do this for my clients. Okay, so my client's goal is to improve attention. Let me just kind of bring this up for you. So it's actually bigger. Okay. All right, improve attention, right? So I'll make it up. I like to use a pen. I like to draw. Okay, so the goals, now I've hidden the name for privacy reasons. Improve attention, improve memory, discipline, become less reactive, eliminate brain fog, have better brain clarity, mental clarity, and finding his purpose. These are high-level brain skills. These are when your brain work at the high level, you can work on those things. But to achieve that, there's 4 things you need. Why 4 things? Why can't it just be one thing? Well, the reason being is your body is complex. Your body is a complex interaction of so many processes in your body. Your diet, your exercise, how you sleep, how you work out. These are all part of what creates the outcome, which is limitless energy and focus. Those things create the outcome. So it's not one thing. And the example I use all the time is bread. You want to bake bread? Guess what? You need what? Water, you need flour, you need yeast, and you need a bit of sugar for the yeast to grow. Okay? So it fluffs up, it pops up. These 4 things, you need 4 things. If you bake them independently, you don't mix them together, what are you going to get? You're going to get hot water, you're going to get dead yeast, you're going to get hot sugar and hot flour. You're not going to get bread. You're not going to get the outcome. So to think you can just take a single pill and get the outcome is like throwing dart with your eyes blindfolded. You can't see, you just kind of somehow you just land there if you're lucky. The problem is if you're a high achiever, you're ambitious, you've got things to do. How much time do you want to waste guessing, right? Maybe you try keto. Maybe you tried a nootropic. Maybe you try a bit of exercise. Maybe a high intensity interval training, maybe O2 training, vibration pad. You might try a little bit. It's hit. But that's like trying to make bread by baking the flour, trying baking the water, and trying baking the yeast. And hopefully one day somehow you might accidentally create bread. Okay? I'm not going to say it's impossible. I think some people already have some factors and they might just somehow find the missing piece and they get the result, and therefore they swear by that, right? So some people say, hey, if I tape my mouth, I work so much better, I sleep so much better. But what you don't see is what else they're doing. They might say mouth taping is the bomb. Everyone should do it. But not everyone is taking the supplement this person is taking. Not everyone is working out the way this person is working out. Not everyone is eating the way this person is eating. They don't talk about all the other 3. They talk about mouth taping being the things that change everything. And that's where most people fail, right? They fail to live their fullest energy and focus potential. They may go to their personal trainer, ask about supplement, ask about workout routines, but they don't talk about sleep, right? They don't consult a sleep doctor about that, right? So you're missing one of the ingredients. Even if they got the sleep down packed, they don't talk about neurotraining. They don't train their mind. They don't know how to use their brain effectively. That's going to impact their brain and focus, right? Or a lot of people go to a memory training course hoping to have better memory, better brain function, better focus, but they eat a shite diet, like poor diet, okay? And they don't work out properly. And that's, again, like trying to bake bread without considering other factors. And they're not going to get the result. They're not going to get the best possible result that they can get if they've got the complete picture. And that's why there's 4 elements that we need to focus on, right? So let me walk you through what are those 4 elements. And this is what will give the result. Okay, so first, extraordinary good sleep. Sleep, majority of people, unless you have diagnosed insomnia or sleep apnea, majority of people can sleep quite okay, right? They go to sleep, they wake up, they go to sleep, and they do that. But really to operate the highest possible level, you can't just have ordinary sleep. You need extraordinary sleep. And what do I mean by that? It means the highest possible quality where you maximize your stage 3 and your stage 4 sleep. In your sleep architecture, you've got different stages, and the neuroscientists measure those stages based on the brainwave, the frequency that it's operating. Okay. Normally, when you're awake, you're in beta. If you're in meditation, your mind is wandering, you're in alpha. And these are Greek alphabet that just describes what stage of sleep you're in based on the speed for which your brain is operating in. Okay, so stage 3, deep sleep, delta, beta, alpha, theta, delta. The last two is one which will be a measure of your sleep quality. And when you can get an hour and a half of each, of REM sleep or deep sleep, you will feel super good. You will maximize your brain's potential to function, whether it's working memory, arousal control, or aka discipline, your ability to suppress reactions and be able to operate with your highest value, your ability to do what you need to do and be disciplined, your ability to hold your focus and attention for long periods of time is going to be exponentially better. Okay, so not good sleep, not just normal sleep, and that's why for my clients, I highlight why normal sleep isn't good enough if your goal is to be your best possible self. Without sleep, with particular him, because he was never trained in how to breathe effectively, and that is actually contributing to his brain fog. It's changing his facial structure. If you're interested in that, look at James Nestor's book Breathe, and you get a better understanding of the importance of breathing for even how you look. Your facial structure changes, but also how you sleep. Okay, he did an experiment where he completely blocked his nose, and within that very night, he started snoring, and he woke up with a brain fog. He can't function properly. He's easily agitated, and these are all things that's gonna undermine your performance. So having incredibly good sleep is important. But my client isn't training that, so that's why I recommended breath training as one of the items that I gave to him personally, because that's something that he struggles with. The other thing is circadian rhythm. He's none the wiser. He doesn't know what chronotype he has, and that's why I recommend a chronotype identification and also training, so that he can identify the right sleep pattern that fit his genes. Most people just think we should wake up early, sleep early, and that's the best pattern for all human beings, but that is just false. That's not true. We have these things called chronotypes, which means genetically some people like to wake up late and sleep late, and they function at their best when they do that. Trying to change someone who's genetically programmed to do that way into an early rise and early sleep pattern is possible. It's not optimal, and often it doesn't last. Okay, so knowing your chronotype, and he doesn't know, that's why I recommended that for him, as is critical if you want to achieve that extraordinary level of sleep. Now, let's look at the diet. Now, my friend eats a lot of Asian takeouts. Okay, he thought, I worked hard. It's okay. A bit of Asian takeout isn't gonna, create any problem. But that's what normal people think. That's what majority of people think. You can eat a balanced diet, balanced as in mostly healthy and balanced out with some really unhealthy food because it's enjoyable. Okay, that's what big food like to sell you. The reality is majority of us are not well. Majority of us are sick. Majority of people are obese, especially in Western society. I live in Australia. In America, they are, in America, a lot of my clients in America, some in UK. Guess what? Majority of people are not well. They're not optimal. They're not optimized. They have chronic diseases. We have an epidemic of diabetes. We have epidemic of obesity, heart disease, cancer. All these tells us that eating what most people think is normal is not the way to go. We have to do something different. Okay, but the exact reasons and that's what I highlighted for my client is lacking some important nutrient that's critical for high brain function. Okay, it's lacking in a lot of essential nutrient. It contains normal diet typically don't even think about what anti-nutrients are. They don't even know what it is. These are things that will interfere with your brain function. Synthetic folic acid is not folate. So they usually fortify flours and bread with folic acid. Bad news, take it out. Oxalate, phytate, right? It interferes with your ability to digest and absorb nutrients, create deficiencies. Lactans will create brain fog. Phytoestrogen, plant-based estrogen. So phyto means plant, estrogen is estrogen. It disrupts your endocrine systems, right? Creates mood swings. For men, it reduces the ratio of estrogen versus your testosterone, and that's bad news for men. And that's why so many men are raving about testosterone replacement therapy, but they don't think about what's causing it, or they just add and trying to make that up for that imbalance, and that's a problem. Okay, so enough about problem with normal diet. For extraordinary performance for my client, and this is very custom because my client has signs of early gray hair. He's early 40s, hair already very gray, and also that combined with attention, memory, discipline issues that he was suffering from. I think he's got some mutations in his genes that's contributing to that. That's why I suggested to him you might want to do advanced genetic testing to confirm this. In particular, NTHFR and GST-GPX. When you have mutations in those genes, you're probably going to get early gray hair. Okay, so getting that diagnosed will be useful, and having a program that will support in deficiencies in genetic deficiency is going to help you operate at the highest level, and that stops you from having to guess what is optimal for you. Doing a genetic testing, doing your blood testing, having your blood work done will give you a rich set of data to dramatically shorten the amount of time you need to create a program for peak performance, because you're not trying things. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because it costs money, right? It's going to cost you. What's worth more? Your time or a couple $1,000 to get, to really reduce the time for experimentation? A friend of mine literally experimented for 6 years trying to figure out why he's having fatigue and brain fog issues all his life. He's had that for all his life. But then it took him on a journey of 6 years of experimentation before I told him, hey, you should have done this test. If and he didn't knew that. I didn't know he was suffering with those issues. Talked to him, he got the test, and now everything is so much clearer. And that's the thing. You can save yourself 6 years by spending $2,000 on some proper testing and recommendations. So that is what I recommended for him. I asked him to get rid of Asian foods. Very rich in carbs, very rich in seed oil, replace with quality protein. And the thing is, Asians love MSG. Monosodium glutamate. Glutamate is a neurotransmitter. It's a stimulating, right? It's an excitatory neurotransmitter. And when you eat it by the teaspoons, rather than what your body produces, it overwhelms. It can kill your neurons. Don't do that. You need your brain, okay? You need your brain for high performance. And carbs and seed oil, potentially can lead to fatty liver. It definitely does to lead to brain inflammation. Get rid of it, right? If you want to eat Asian, cook it yourself. Cook it with good oil. Minimize the carbs. I do a cauliflower fried rice, Asian style, and it's the bomb. It's so good. Okay, so you can eat Asian style food. Just make it yourself. Learn to do it yourself. Okay, and lastly, with his diet, I recommend a multivitamin mineral stack, which is basics. This is the reason why, I don't know if you had this experience where someone recommended a supplement that really helped them for energy and focus or better quality sleep. But then you took it, you felt nothing, and you're wondering why? What? Why are they raving about this thing? This is the reason. The thing is, there's certain basic nutrient you need. You think of yourself like a puzzle. Everyone has different missing pieces. Someone else's missing piece, when filled in, will complete their picture for performance. Their missing piece is probably not your missing piece. That's why when you take the missing pieces, maybe this supplement, okay? Put it in your puzzle, doesn't quite fit. And then you go, what are they talking about, right? NMN, CoQ10, these are popular energy supplement. And if you take that, you don't have the same result. That's probably why, because you're missing some foundational supplements that you should be having in your diet. Those guys who are taking those things are probably already on a stack. If you don't have a stack, you should create one. Get some help. And if you want professional medical help, you might consider getting an integrative doctor or practitioner to help you work out what it is, or executive health coach that might be able to help you come up with a starting stack. And that's where you can save a bit of money, right? Because if you don't have medical conditions, you don't have comorbidities like diabetes or serious illnesses that's chronic, you probably do not need to go to an integrative doctor. And just because you don't have those things that can affect you, right? It's pretty safe to take a foundational set of multivitamins like a food-based, whole food-based multivitamins and minerals, and also things like creatine, omega-3s. Those are pretty safe. But having said that, do consult your doctor because that's the wise thing to do. But you probably don't need a full-on end-to-end consultation, multiple appointments with a professional integrative doctor unless you've got a medical issue. So that's a way to save a bit of money. All right, this is a longer video than I would like, but here we go. We're almost there. Getting fit is more than just aesthetics. Having a six-pack is not just about looking good on the beach, right? Sure, when you have a six-pack, right, you feel confident, right? When people compliment how well you look, how strong and fit you look, you feel good. But more importantly, people perceive lean, fit people as more intelligent. They consider them as more disciplined. They consider them in a better light than if I'm fat and obese. People judge. Suck it up. That's the way it is. Okay? So having fit is good. Presents an air of confidence and you feel good doing that. But more importantly, it helps support your brain function. The belly fat, the visceral fat that wraps around your organs is more than just an aesthetic issue. They create inflammatory factors that's going to impact your brain. It creates inflammation in the brain. It contributes to that. It makes it much, much worse. The other thing, it increases estrogen level. So these are biologically active. It's constantly creating a whole host of hormones that most people don't realize. Hormones, estrogen, bad news. Too much estrogen for men, bad news. Belly fat, visceral fat creates a lot more estrogen and female hormone than you would like. All right, so we do not want belly fat. So cutting that back is important, but unfortunately, normal exercise don't do it well, right? It really doesn't do that very well. Just playing soccer, cycling, running is normal exercise. Doesn't do that very well. So changing your exercise routine to be much more focused on performance is going to help. And the other thing is, normal exercise routine generally don't teach you how to better focus, pay attention, doesn't train the mind, and lacks mindfulness. And that's the element, that's my critique of traditional exercise approach. It's missing a lot of this element that's required for peak performance. Exercise and training the body is a great way to train the mind. Most people don't know that. They think gym is just doing that. But more and more science is showing us that when you tap into your body in a scientific, particular way, deliberate way, you also developing your personal discipline. You are also developing your ability to notice things, right? If you see a situation, you will notice things and opportunities and the risks that other people don't see because your ability to be mindful and your awareness has been enhanced by the way you train your body. And there's results to show that. So Mr. Huberman, okay? Huberman has done a podcast where he talks about the ability to pay attention to your muscle, the mindfulness of that will actually dramatically improve the effectiveness of your workout. So we see that this is something that most people don't pay attention to. When you start to pay attention to those things, you get much better result and you get warrior fit. You're less likely to get injured and sick, and you're stronger, fitter, and you feel like a warrior. So that's important. That's why we need to change how we exercise. Traditional gym doesn't really do it, okay? That's just not what they designed for. You probably need to get someone who is exercise specialist, but who also do mindfulness-based fitness training and use technology and gadget to support that. And most martial art trainers are probably already doing that. So martial art is a great way for you to get warrior fit. Traditional gym, not so good. In Australia, I recommend my client check out Locker Room, which is executive training, a very exclusive training gym for executive and high performers. they do that. They can teach you on how to improve your exercise to do more than just sweating. Okay, and we have a biohacking workout gym in US. You have the Human Potential Labs. Okay, in Australia we have Fortis Fit. Okay, the Human Potential Labs, Upgrade Labs actually they're called now. Used to be called Bulletproof Labs. Now they've changed their name. But in Australia we call Fortis Fit. It's the same. You've got a ton of tools that's scientifically based to actually develop a lot of the things I mentioned that we need for peak performance and cold exposure. That's something that I recommend for my clients. He's never done it, but that's another way to train your mind and train your body at the same time. And lastly, okay, brain. The reality is no one teaches us how to use our brain and mind effectively, and that wastes energy, attention, and focus. We've got limited amount of those. We have to learn to use those wisely, effectively. It doesn't really keep up with modern leadership demands for decision making, stress management, right? That's what normal education gives us. It doesn't really prepare us well for the ever-changing world that's even more uncertain, ambiguous than it used to be. We need to be able to have the mind to be able to thrive in those environments. And untrained mind doesn't help. Untrained mind doesn't tap into your full executive brain potential, basically, full stop. So what can we do? And for my clients, because he's never done any form of mindfulness training, I recommend Heart Math as one option, or Silly as Search Inside Yourself Leadership Institute. Okay, they both. Silly is born from a Google executive program, and it's really giving you the brain tools that's very applicable for the workplace or for a very technical environment, which is Google. It's designed to train executive leaders, but now has been rolled out Google-wide and more widely throughout the world. Highly recommend that if you want to learn to master your mind and brain. And nootropics, all right, I recommend a team to experiment with some of those. These are very safe to try, but again, consult your doctor. If you want professional help, you can talk to a functional medicine specialist. For me, I work with a Dr. Chappell. I refer clients to them, and they're who I recommend. If you're in US and you want to find a good integrated doctor to help you because you've got some special needs, reach out, drop me a line below. I'm more than happy to refer to you to your local doctor that's US based or maybe UK based. Okay, so that gives you the complete picture of what I recommended for my client to help them achieve the goal of limitless energy focus. A lot of that is based on a personalized health assessment. So if this is something you're interested in, you want to have an assessment done for you, just ping me, drop me a line below focus. I'll send you out an assessment, and then I'll give you the exact same strategy for yourself to help you implement. One thing I want to call out is this is free. Okay, so I don't need your email, right? I don't need anything for you. The reason I'm doing this for free is I want to give you good information. And if you can actually choose to work with me if you want help with implementation. And that's what my business is all about. These are knowledge, a dime a dozen everywhere. And the problem with most of my clients is when they go to implement this, life catches up with them. So they get busy, right? They get family, their children, some of the things they need to do to improve their sleep involve getting sunlight in the morning, but some of my clients don't have the time for this. So we come up with a strategy to fit them. So we use things like a full spectrum sun lamp indoors. So while they're looking after the kids and getting them ready for school, they can have exposure to full spectrum light and get the benefit of 80-90% benefit of sunlight, and improve sleep without having to go outdoors and sit out there, because not everyone can do that. And that's the challenge with implementing some of these advices. Life catch up, and sometimes there's some mental hurdles we need to overcome where we've been brainwashed to think vegetable or vegetarian food is the bomb, right? It's good for the environment, it's the best diet for health, but there's a lot of problem with that. Typically vegans and vegetarians eat too much hyper-processed food, right? Ultra-processed food, and that's going to undermine their performance. But to wean them away from that and to go through a journey of changing that, it's going to be challenging. And that's what I do. I do this, I give away the plan for free because it gives you something to work on. But if you want to work with me, that's where I do my business from. I get my business from. Okay, so full transparency, I want to give it all to you, lay it out. I'll fill out the survey. I'll give you the plan. I'll even shoot you a customized video to walk you through every step of my recommendation, why I recommend this for you, and let you make up your mind. I'll also even send you to resources that's not mine, right? So complete unbiased. I'll give you resources that you need. If you want to do it on your own. But the reason is this is my way of putting my best foot forward to show what I can do for you. And if you choose to work with me, all the awesome. If you don't want to do that and that's not for you, awesome, cool, no problem. All right, that's all from me from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, let me know. And if you want this personalized plan for yourself, drop the word focus below.